Alright, I do believe we are live. It appears so. I need to share this link out. Alright, starting with here, and then I'm gonna go to other social media networks like Gab, Minds, Steemit, Patreon, and Maker Support. Wondering the difference between a cryptocurrency and a blockchain? Well, I'm going to be talking about blockchains specifically for the next hour or two. Come join in and link. Copy that whole thing. Write up a new post, paste it in here. This is mine, so I need to add hashtags like whatever. Make sure it shares out to the book face. Post it. Same thing here. Tags, cryptocurrency, blockchain, stream, YouTube, and programming. There we go. Posts. Before I do that, let's do this one. Oh shit, I don't have my chat box open, I'm sorry. Hello and good morning, Curated Opinions, Robin Bartlett. Ottaking Green Moon, so glad you're here. No, wait, I don't need to put that there, I need to put that there. Did I? Okay, paste that, post that. By the way, Maker Support is working now for those people who wanted to move over there. I don't know if everyone's in yet. I'll probably do a proper thing about it later. But for now, I just need to finish posting this to the socials. There we go. Public, alright, and again, I'm probably, a friend of mine is probably going to say that my titles for videos are absolutely terrible. But whatever, that is just how it's going to have to be. Let's spend some time talking about blockchains. And of course, by blockchains, I don't have a full screen camera set up. Oh, no, I do. Awesome. Alright. So we're going to talk about blockchains. And sorry, my hair is still wet. It's Florida. Your hair's always wet. Now, when I say blockchains, I'm not actually talking about cryptocurrencies, right? I'm actually talking about the technology on which blockchains are built. Sorry, I don't have the window open. By the way, hello Gypsy Guerra, hello Vanilla Minaduki. It's an adorable name. But it's extremely important to understand that the technology behind it isn't the cryptocurrency itself, even though in its simplest form it can be. So I have the wrong window open here. There we go. Just had to drag a tab over. Um, so yeah, let's start with a quote that I found absolutely hilarious because I wanted to read this to you. People who compare digital tokens to tulips are essentially saying digital tokens are a bubble backed by nothing but pure hype and speculation. What they fail to understand is that tulips come from dirt, not a blockchain. As we all know, blockchain is possibly the greatest technological innovation since the internet. It will have a tremendous impact on global business and society in general. Tulip token. That's just a really great quote, and the irony laden within it is just wonderful. But cryptocurrencies weren't even the first blockchain. The first effective blockchain was Git. Now, for those of you who don't know, whenever I'm programming, I use a system called Git that takes changes to code you make and stores them in blocks that exist in a chain. It's literally a blockchain. It's just a blockchain used to save changes to code rather than a blockchain used to save transactions. And that's what's so powerful about the blockchain model, is that it's extremely flexible for any data you don't want to change. But, you know, forgive my rambling, let's actually talk about what a blockchain is. And I'm going to open up my desktop for y'all. And I've got a bunch of tabs open, but there was one thing I wanted to go to. The definitions for blockchains are absolutely horrific. The way people define them is very confusing, and most people don't talk about blockchains in any separate manner from cryptocurrencies, so they tend to use the terms interchangeably, which there's so much more to a blockchain than that. Now, we're at the Wikipedia page, and we're at the Wikipedia page because, well, I do conspiracy videos, and soon Wikipedia is going to be on my videos anyways, so I might start, you know, shitting all over Wikipedia while I can. A blockchain, originally blockchain, is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. You guys probably can't even fucking read that. There. Each block typically contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, a timestamp, and transaction data. This is one of those places where the language is confuddled. A blockchain doesn't have to have transaction data, it can have raw data on the blockchain. So you can literally store, in its simplest form, for example, you can store beat per minute measures every 15 seconds to a blockchain, and then essentially what you have is an enclosed system where a heartbeat monitor mines a coin, but instead of pushing transactions into that block or getting a coin for its efforts, it literally just, you know, mines that beat per minute measurement into a immutable chain that cannot be altered. And that's what part of the beauty of it. By design, a blockchain is inherently resistant to modification of the data. That's what we're talking about just then. It is an open distributed ledger. There's another word that pisses me off when used with regards to blockchain, because it doesn't have to be a ledger. And it doesn't have to be a direct line. You can have, as this image actually shows, branches. A distributed ledger that can record transactions between two parties efficiently and in a verifiable and permanent way. And this part I completely agree with. This is actually a very well said part. But yeah, it doesn't have to be transactions again, and this is another place they keep using this marketing language, this economic transactional language, when in reality what you're dealing with is something, a blockchain is so much simpler. It's so much simpler than anyone gives it credit for with the complexity that Bitcoin, Ethereum, these different blockchains have created for themselves. Blockchains are secure by design, exemplify a distributed computing system with high Byzantine fault tolerance. Yes. For those who are curious, Byzantine fault tolerance basically just means extremely fault intolerant. But it will failure in one place will fail all the way down the line. Decentralized consensus has therefore been achieved with a blockchain. This is something else we're going to be discussing in the show today later, actually. This makes blockchains potentially suitable for the recording of events, medical records, and other records management activities, such as identity management, transaction processing, documenting provenance, food traceability, or voting. There are actually a ton of smaller purposes that it can be applied to as well. These are just the most commonly discussed right now. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing this stream, is because I want to discuss the weird ones. Weird ideas like creating a journal, like a diary out of a blockchain, which is something we're going to play with today, probably. Oh, my roommate is home from grocery shopping. Just a moment. So, yeah, where was I? Blockchain was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008. No, it was invented as far back as 1999. This is extremely misleading. Blockchains existed as far back as 1999 at Satoshi's design, no less. It wasn't for use in cryptocurrency Bitcoin, it was the model used for cryptocurrency Bitcoin. And yes, ahead of its time, absolutely, but I mean, this entire paragraph is completely misleading. Don't use Wikipedia, I guess, is the moral of the story here. Arakeen asked, it just needs to be a chain or nodes? Satoshi didn't... he white-papered Bitcoin. In fact, he white-papered Bitcoin as far back as 1999. It wasn't until 2008 that a working code base had been devised, and even then, he completely stepped away from it. He's a very reclusive individual, and Bitcoin at this point is something very far away from Satoshi, and Satoshi's original vision at that. But I'm not here to talk about cryptocurrency. I'm here to talk about blockchain, because for all we're discussing, we are still getting into some very weird concepts, and these are concepts I honestly feel better describing with code in front of us, even pseudocode, as the case may be, for a while. So we're going to quickly set up a Migder toy blockchain. Toy blockchain. Yarn init. Just gonna speed through all this shit, because none of it matters at the moment. Get init. Let's see. What am I missing? Yarn add dev. Now let's see if I can remember this list of dependencies. I don't have to remember it. I have it over here on my laptop. I'll just use that. Babel core. Babel plugin external helpers. Babel preset env. Chai slint config Airbnb base. Slint plugin imports. Mocha. npm run all. nyc rollup plugin Babel and roll up plugin node resolve. There we go. Now while that's installing, I'm just gonna... This is essentially just the tool chain that I've decided to stick with for JavaScript right now, because it's the easiest, it gives me the latest features, and it takes the least amount of setup time. I don't have to focus on it like that. Yes, let us all love Lane. But yeah, Babel is the transpiler that I use. Not technically a compiler, it's a transpiler. It just translates new JavaScript into old and polyfilled JavaScript. Speaking of which, I think I skipped out on Babel polyfill. Well, I won't need it immediately, so I won't worry about it. But yes, Babel will just let me write cleaner, easier to read code, makes it a lot easier for all of you. ESLint will detect bugs for me and uses the Airbnb JavaScript code standards, so the just a common way of writing JavaScript. And this makes sure that I don't make any stupid mistakes in my code as well. The plugin import allows me to import the Airbnb ESLint file. Mocha is a test library. Chai is an assertions library for that test library. npm run all allows me to make my instrumentation just that much easier by when I'm configuring the tool I'm using here, Yarn. Won't let me highlight because it's continually rewriting. But yeah, Yarn, it's basically my instrumentation. It allows me to add scripts into a file, as well as my dependencies and everything else. And I can run those scripts, well, I guess I'll show you. Code, package.json. So it's got all my dependencies in here, all that shit I just installed. By the way, Rollup is just a system for compiling. It's kind of a compiler runner for me, but it does so in such an efficient way for larger code bases and dependencies that are enormous that I've decided to use it over what's it called? Webpack. And it's also got a much cleaner setup. But I can also add in a section called scripts, and we are going to do that because I just want to get my instrumentation up out the gates. So test unit is going to be nyc mocha require Babel core register. Can't believe I'm doing this off memory. And then test lint is going to be slint source and tests and rollup.config.js. Now, none of those files exist yet, but that's okay. And finally, test is going to be run as test lint test units. And I don't need to run anything yet. I do need to put a comma in there though, so that it doesn't get all iffity. And now I need to code Babel RC. Presets and no env save code slintrc I keep doing that, extends Airbnb base. There. Super simple configuration, super painless. And we have our... Oh shit, you guys can't see my code, can you? I'm dumb. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this over here. That way I can swap between the two while keeping my eye candy on screen. Because I'm a dork like that. Don't show again. Oh, right. I need one more thing. Code get ignore. And I'm going to just use the get ignore that I've got open over here. It's, node modules. npm env coverage and nyc outputs slint cache logs star.log npm debug.log yarn debug.log yarn error.log save. Alright, and that should fix my problem over here. Yeah, Git. That's something we're actually using here. But, I mean, it's important. One of the reasons I wanted to set all of this up is to show you exactly... well, I wanted to show you what a basic blockchain looks like in code so that you have an idea of what's going on. But also, I wanted to then just open up the Git directory and show you a blockchain that existed before Bitcoin. But there's my git ignore, I believe. I guess I'm gonna have to open folder, aren't I? You're going to be a bastard. Yes, you are. Oh, of course. Let's see. Don't really need any of those open anymore. Oh, thank you. It's a caramel sea salt cake. And my roommate is awesome. Let's see. So, yeah. There's a sickness going around and she's got it and it's killing her. I feel terrible about it. Let's see. What am I looking for? I got all my dependencies in place. I still need to make dir test source. And, yeah. Alright, so now it behooves us to, well, git add dot git status. So we are just basically adding the framing of the system. Git commit boilerplate. But yeah, let's show you. Let's look at the blockchain that came before blockchain. So we have objects. No, wait. Refs, I believe it is. Yes. Refs heads. And master. Oh, come on. Give me the long version. It's not showing me the link. How bastardly. Well, it is connected to... Oh, that's how they're doing it. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, and it gives us a hash. Now this is going to seem very familiar to anyone who's done any, work with blockchain at all. These hashes are everywhere. However, this hash in specific starts with 5.2, so cat objects 5.2. There it is. Oh, it's actually a blob. I can't look at the contents of it. That's frustrating. Hmm. Well, what can we do? Now, here's the funny thing. You can actually, here. Git log. You can actually use the first bits of a hash to reference it in Git, which is always awesome. Instead of, shit, no. I need to... That's irritating. Let's stop that shit. Oh, no, my nighttime hours is on. It just hates me. Anyway, yes, let us... I need to actually make an alias for that. Fuck that, not doing that right now. We're just gonna get on with the program. So we have our source directory, so we are going to get out of Git, and we are actually going to make dir. And now I guess I don't have to. Alright. Code source blockchain.js. Oh shit, no, I forgot one thing. Code rollup.config.js. And I'm just gonna, again, use the one I was playing with last night. Import resolve from rollup plugin node resolve. Import Babel from rollup plugin Babel. Export defaults inputs source main.js. Output formats. I guess, well, can we? I guess we're just building a backend right now. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're just gonna do it UMD anyways, just in case. Just in case the data needs to be loaded by a front end. Format file is going to be distbundle.js. And name, now this is for UMD specifically, we have to give it a name, so it's given a global in JavaScript when it's, when the file is executed by a browser. So we're going to call this toy blockchain. Get back into position. Then plugins. Resolve. And then Babel. And we add our entire Babel config here specifically for rollup, because the way rollup does things is weird. Plugin. Oh, no, wait, I gotta exclude. Exclude. Node modules ***. Now, do I want to exclude those? No, I don't. What am I thinking? I just want to presets and env modules false comma semicolon. I feel like something's missing. Oh, right, BabelRC. BabelRC is false. We've got our... Oh, you know what? We're also missing some stuff in here. No? Yes, yes we are. Plugins. Okay. External helpers. There. I believe that does in fact match, except with the removal of exclude. Yeah. It does appear so. Is my presets... Oh shit, these are supposed to be my Babel presets. I'm a dumb. There we go. And yeah, there we go. We have a rollup config. So now we can... well, we're just gonna touch source main.js for now, and we're going to code blockchain.js. Actually, it should be blockchain.js. And we are going to export default class blockchain. Now what we're doing here is defining a class that can be imported by other files. So in, you know, programmatic terms, it would be called a library. This specific library's purpose is actually very simple. All it does is hold our blockchain. Now, when we create a blockchain, we only really need one thing. This dot blockchain. I guess I can just call it chain for short, but whatever. This dot chain equals... So we're just a basic list. A very simple JavaScript list. And this code... What are you... Oh, I didn't put a... Of course. Come on, thank you. Save. And, yeah, now we have a blockchain. That's all that is the simplest blockchain you can get. It is a list. But it's not exactly a blockchain yet, is it? For one, we don't have blocks, so let's make our blocks first. Block.js. Now this is also export default class block. You know what? I'm doing this wrong. I made a mistake. I need to delete that. Export default blockchain. Save, and then get rid of you as well. Export default block. Okay, so now blocks are different. We're going to use our constructor to take in its attributes. And we're going to do just a very straightforward cryptocurrency style blockchain here, just to show things off. So what we need is an index, a timestamp, a previous hash. Oh shit, you know what I forgot? I forgot something, guys. Something very neat that I like. Yarn, add, dev, Babel preset flow. Now, this is actually going to make my JavaScript typed, and will actually detect type errors. Actually, I don't think that's necessary. We don't really need that right now. I mean, it would have been fun to play with, but I don't think it serves the interests of the stream. Unfortunately, programming is a ton of fucking setup. This is why people program... this is why people program up systems that automatically generate this shit, but I'm in desperate need of exercise and being able to memorize shit, being able to remember shit again, that I'm just doing it by hand over and over. And I apologize that I'm putting y'all through it. But yeah, so this dot... I missed something up here. We also need data. And this data is actually going to be... Well, I guess... Yeah, it just... We don't have to actually set that right now. This dot index equals index. This dot timestamp equals timestamp. this dot previous hash equals previous hash. This dot data equals data. And we also need a hashing function. So we're going to yarn add crypto.js. This is going to give us cryptographic functions, and it really is a very simple cryptographic function that gives blockchain its power. Give me, yes, thank you. Now, the cryptographic algorithm we're going to be using is SHA-256, also known as SHA-2. And it is, it's called a cryptographic hash function. And what a cryptographic hash function does is basically create a digital fingerprint of the contents of the data provided to it. So, like I showed earlier with the getignore having a hash in it, that hash is obtained by taking all the differences in changes to files that I make. And it is the differences. It's a file called a diff, and I can show that off later if you want. But it takes that file and then runs a cryptographic fingerprint of it. Now that cryptographic fingerprint, due to its complexity, up to 512 bits of, you essentially have a unique key for all intents and purposes. It would take more hashes than could be accomplished in centuries to ever come close to obtaining a duplicate. And that's what makes cryptographic functions so important. Now, what makes blockchains unique is that they take advantage of hashes. So, each block has the hash of the previous block. Previous hash... yeah, it doesn't need to be set. Now, so we have the previous hash hashed into the current hash. Now, let's do that, shall we? This is going to be called... calculate hash. And we need to actually undo. Import crypto.js from crypto.js. Now, we are going to return a crypto.js.sha256 of... that's an interesting question. I should be able to json.stringify... do I want to do that? That might be a little complex. Let's just concatenate them together. This dot index plus this dot timestamp plus this dot previous hash plus this dot data. Shit. Well, we'll have to change that in a bit once we actually start doing things that are cryptocurrency-esque. But essentially what we're doing here is we're taking the string of index, which I should probably put this in there to fix it up. But yeah, we're taking everything as a string. This dot index, this dot timestamp, this dot to string, because we're returning a crypto.js hash here. That's kind of weird. Or better yet, let's just call this hash. Because the data shouldn't change. Well, fuck it. Let's, yeah. Calc hash, and then this dot hash equals calc hash. Alright, so yeah, now we have a basic block that provides us with an index field, a timestamp field, a previous hash, place for data, and a calculation. Which means we can start doing things with this. So yeah, now we import our block in here. Block from block. There we go. And currently our chain doesn't do anything. So let us actually do something with it. Shit, I had a window open. Where did it go? God damn it. Now I gotta... Where was that? Was it a fermented fish? I have to ask. I'm always curious now. Let's see. So, what was it? Code your blockchain. Was the name of it? Something like that. There it is. No, wait, that wasn't the one. That's the one. Alright. Okay, so, no. This dot next block equals generate latest block. Now that won't work without a block in the chain. So what we have to do is create a genesis block. New block index 0 timestamp damn it. Really? Really? How? Is it? Thank you. Date.now. No. You were supposed to copy that and then paste it. Thank you. New block 0 timestamp previous hash. Actually, previous hash can be just empty. And then its data for the time being is going to be sender. Actually, we should probably do it like this. Sender, receiver, amounts. Hold on. That should be a list. A list of transactions. Oh, crap. Yeah, fuck it. It's gonna be single transaction. Well, fuck it. We can manage. We can manage. Now, what are you complaining about? I know that you are. Calc hash is not defined. Oh, duh. This dot calc hash. String concatenation. Oh, prefer templates. Okay. It wants me to make sure to do this like this because it's much cleaner to read. This dot data dot to string. Please be able to string. Because otherwise I have to... You know, fuck it. We're just gonna... do it the way that I wanted to before. JSON.stringify. This.data. And now, again, data can be whatever the fuck I want it to be. And this needs to be a tick. There we go. Alright. New line required and into file but not found. Alright. Generate latest block is not defined. This dot generate latest block. Alright, so latest block. Actually, while I'm doing this, it occurs to me that until it's written, this doesn't need to be this, so that means I can just change this to hash. Okay, so, generate latest block. By the way, it's complaining about an end of an EOL and a dangling comma there. No, comma, thank you. There, now back to blockchain. Expected use of this to be used by class method generate latest block. And now we take our... Wait, I shouldn't be doing this here. And latest block sounds weird to me now. Let previous block equal this dot get latest block. Oh, that's why it sounds weird to me, because get latest block, which is going to return this dot chain dot length -1, which essentially is the last item in the chain. And let previous block equal get this dot get latest block. Let next index equal this dot, excuse me, previous block dot index +1. Let next timestamp equal new date dot get time divided by 1000. And let next hash. Actually, that's not necessary yet because our hashes are lazy. Return new block, which is next index previous block dot hash. This brings up an issue of consensus. Right now, as I'm developing this, I'm using hash as a function which lazily produces the results, right? So it won't get calculated until hash is called. That's okay, so that's why I needed to do it like this. I need the hash to basically be immediate. As soon as we have the data, I don't want it changing. And if the change happens, I want the hash change to be explicit as well. Alright, so, next index, next timestamp, block data. Alright, so there we go. Now we can... previous block is never reassigned. Use const instead. Okay. Const... Yeah, and that's, as you can see at the bottom, it might be a little small to read, but... it's basically giving me little pointers that are going to improve memory things. And yeah, we are actually getting much closer to the actual meat and potatoes. Why no trailing spaces? Well, why? That's weird. That's a little cramped. I don't know why it's... There we go. Trailing spaces, that was the problem, not gaps between my functions. But yeah, so now... I still need to... do something. We want to make sure our blocks are valid. So... validate block. Oh, okay. Is valid block. New block, previous block. And, what are we gonna do? If previous block dot index plus 1 does not equal new block dot index, return false. Else if... yeah. Okay, else if... else if previous block dot hash does not equal new block dot previous hash, return false. Else if new block dot hash does not equal new block dot calculate hash, return false, or return true. Expected this to be used. Class methods use this. Well, I guess we can elevate this. No, wait, I don't want to. Oh, I'm getting messages somewhere. Alright, so it is mad at me because it expects me to use this. And honestly, I don't see a way this can be used for a validation function. Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry about the beeping. I forgot to... I should probably do that now. No, that wasn't the button. That wasn't the button. That's the button. Alright, so... it really wants me to use this. I feel like what I'm going to do is just go with ESLint. Use this off. Class methods use this. Class methods. There we go. Just tell ESLint to ignore that. Alright, so now we are getting much closer to the stability and security of a blockchain, okay? So, one of the big things about blockchains is, one, you've got these hashes. You've got the previous hash actually hashed into the next hash. Now, that should not be hash, but rather hash. It should not be, in other words, I shouldn't be calling it as a function, I should be reading the data. Now, so far we've been having a lot of fun just coding this together, but we might actually want to test this shit. So we're going to add in a test file, tests blockchain.js, test.js, and that is going to give us a test file. We are going to import expect from chai, and then we are going to also, we need to set some settings for slint env node mocha. There, that way I don't get any problems in my little problems notifier down at the bottom, which I can just close, however I'll still see them in the sidebar here. So describe blockchain. Bastard. Describe blockchain. It should create a list with a genesis block. And we are going to test this by, well, first import blockchain from source blockchain. And we're going to const bc equals new blockchain. Expect block bc.chain.length to be 2 equal 1. Now we can start on some real fun. Yarn tests. I'm going to get an ESLint error. What? Oh, shit. I forgot to semicolon this up. And... No. I need my Control-Shift-M. Expected 1 empty line after import statements. Expected a semicolon. Unable to resolve path to ... source module. It's there. Where? Oh shit. Okay, that's why. Move. I was dumb and stuck those in the root of my file instead of the, There we go. Now it's fixed. Save. Let's try that again. ESLint goes on without a hitch. Mocha. Blockchain is only 20% covered. But our test passes. It does what it says on the tin. It creates a block. It creates a list with with 1 block in it. Now let's can't really deep dig these, so we're going to use the timestamp as a test fixture. Expect bc.chain 0 timestamp 2 equal that, and we should still be passing. Yeah, but our blockchain.js is still not very covered. Const Genesis equals... What was I just doing? Right, I wanted to test get latest block. So we're gonna do that in a different test. It should return the Genesis block as the latest block before adding any new blocks. And that is going to have a constant. Hold on, does Mocha have, oh shit, no, I need that open. Does Mocha.js have setup and teardown? I need to look this up because it's been a while. Setup. Yes, we have before. Alright, before. this dot BC equals new blockchain. Actually, is that how we want to do it? I guess it's not before, it's before each. Now the question is, does this carry over? Does the actual this carry over is the question. Let's find out. This dot BC expects this dot BC dot get latest block to like okay index to equal this dot BC dot chain 0 dot index. Alright, save, and we're missing a semicolon. And we're missing a semicolon somewhere else. Where? Oh, up here. There we go. Now, logically, that should give me can't talk because I'm dumb. 2 tests passing. Oh. What's the problem? Before each hook should create a type error cannot set property BC of undefined. Okay, yeah, that's a problem. Const BC equals, let's see if that does it. No, that won't do it either. So this, is just a useless before each because of the way I'm doing things, I suppose. That seems weird, though. What error did I get now? Cannot read property BC of undefucked. Okay. I forgot one. One more test loop. And we're passing, so we can move on. We need to make a test that will fail now to cover what we're going to be doing next. So we want to validate our chain. This is not quite the page I wanted to be on. That is. And that will require us to add block is valid chain, right? It should test the validity of a chain. It should test the validity of a block first, just so we get that covered. And, so new blockchain. how does is valid block work? Right, okay, so const new block equals bc dot generate next block, and our block data is going to be a single transaction of sender, receiver, amount 0. And, okay, we are going to... Oh shit, we don't have an add block function yet. So, add block... this dot chain dot push... Wait. If this dot is valid block block and this dot get latest block. So we are validating our block against the previous block, which of course is going to have been validated against the previous all the way back to our genesis block. This dot chain dot push block. You have been accepted into our list. Now, new block assigned a value but never used. Where? Oh, this is all in the tests. Okay, so now we can expect bc dot is valid block no, bc dot yeah, no, expect new block dot index to equal bc dot chain dot length minus 1 dot index. Now, does that work? And nope, it does not. Expected 1 to... Oh. Right. Minus 1. Oh, no. What am I thinking? I'm stupid. bc dot get is block new block bc dot chain dot length minus 1 to equal true. I'm an idiot. I fucked up writing the tests. Still getting an error. Why is it false? bc.isValidBlock is valid block if previous block dot index plus 1 equals new block dot index. Oh! You know what? We fucked up our indexer. Somewhere we did not set... No, because that block... Oh, that block was not generated by generate test next block. That's why. Oh, yes it was. Get latest block, this.chain, this.chain.length minus 1. Next index equals previous block dot index plus 1. Yeah. New block bc.generate next block. I'm not adding it in there already, am I? No, just creating a new block. It's not getting added to the chain yet. Where the hell is the problem? Should test the validity of a block. New block equals bc.generate next block. Does it return? Yeah, it returns new block. And I don't know where I messed up. I really don't need to be repeating that if I can just use that function. Still getting an error. Expected true got false. Why? Expect bc.getLatestBlock.hash to equal new block.hash. Let's see if we can't test our way out of this hole and figure out what's wrong. Wait, expected object to equal object. What did I fuck up? Holy shit, how did I mess this up? Previous block equals get latest block. Next index equals previous block.index plus 1. Next timestamp. Let's add in the two strings. Maybe this is just... Where did I fuck this up? Because that next generated block... So, yeah, we return a new block. Yeah, no, it's still fucking up. Two very different hashes. Why? Oh, no. Previous hash. I'm an idiot. That's why that test has been failing. Still gonna fail on me, but... Wait, what? Where the hell is my timestamp getting fucked up? Yeah, there's... Index timestamp. Oh, that's why. I'm an idiot. I got those two things mixed up. Previous block.hash. That was a pernicious little bastard of a bug. What? Still false. Why is it still false? Because now this one passes, but this one fails, and I don't get it. Oh, wait. That might be why. Because I forgot to call the fucking function. These are the kind of mistakes you make. Anyway, so, nope, we're still getting false. New block followed by previous block. Yeah. And this is in fact generating a Genesis block manually. It's kind of hard-coded in, which isn't the best, but could be worse. Shit. I know one way to test this. I need to invert my testing. But first, why are you... This.calculate hash is in fact being called, right? I mean, it has to be. Am I doing something weird with it anywhere? It doesn't look like it. Next index, next timestamp, previous block hash, block data. If previous block dot index... Well, I'm not sure you guys want to sit and watch me, you know. Did my stream just blink in and out? I hope not. Anyway, you guys don't want to see me hum and haw, so we're going to do this. We're going to first... Well, we need to get to the end, right? So the end of this chain is... If previous... does not equal new block.index, return false. Okay, so... I mean, new block.index should be 1. Expect new block.index to equal 1. I just want to see this right now. I'm just looking through my code, trying to make sure I sort of know what I'm doing, at least. Yeah, okay, that does in fact pass, which means... block validation is... somewhere shitting itself. Yeah, no, that about looks like the code I was working with last night. I do not see why we are getting a problem there. Well, I'm not sure it's the index. Okay, so next on the list... new block dot index equals 2. Expects bc dot is valid block. New block. bc.get latest block. To equal false. There we go. You're in tests. Bring this over here for my sake. Okay, that does in fact pass. So we have tested one more route there. New block dot index equals 1. New block dot hash equals oh, would you stop filling in spaces for me, please? New block hash equal, oh, shit. Const old hash equals new block dot hash. Expect bc.is valid block. New block bc.get latest block. To equal false. And then new block dot hash equals old hash. Oh, duh. It's going to bitch about camel case. And let's see. This, I believe, will pass. Yep, it passes, and we're at 75%. We just have 35, 36, and 38. So... And right now, all I'm doing is making tests to make sure everything behaves as it should. If a test breaks somewhere else, this will show me what's wrong. This is the kind of stuff that I love to do because working with instrumentation like this is very, very effective, for me at least. Const old timestamp equals new block timestamp. New block dot timestamp equals 0. Expect bc is valid block. New block bc dot get latest block. To equal false. And then new block dot timestamp equals old timestamp. This should pass. It does pass, but doesn't... Wait, it does pass, but it doesn't... Okay. Oh, I still haven't tested, Okay, it's constantly reporting false. Uncovered line numbers 35, 36, 38. How is 33 covered, but not 35 covered? That's bizarre. Okay, this test doesn't actually do anything for us. Old hash equals new block dot hash. And, const old p hash equals new block dot previous hash. New block dot previous hash equals x's expect bc.is valid block new block bc.get latest block to equal false. New block dot previous hash equals old p hash. And we are left with passing tests. And now it's just it's still complaining about 35, 36 over here. I can't. Okay, let's just flip this around for the sake of instrumentation. No, it still says that that's uncovered. Why? New block.previous hash, new block.previous hash. Oh, no. I have changed new block.hash. Okay, undo. What shit, redo. Crap. Control Y. Control Y. Ugh. What did I do? What did I ruin? Okay, we're gonna have to ignore that coverage shit because it is obviously a little bit. Oh, 35 and 37. I mean, I believe 37 because we still have to expect BC is valid block new block bc.get latest block to equal equal true. And this is, if this fails, I'm going to be completely gobsmacked. It fails. Because it's returning false. Because why? Previous block.hash. Previous block.hash. Oh shit. You know what I forgot to do? You know what we're gonna do? We're going to change this to this.generate next block. And now it should actually calculate the hash, right? No, suddenly everything's gone. Shit. Undo, undo. Why does it keep jumping back to that semicolon? That is so weird. Yeah, new block does calculate its own hash. Seriously, there's nothing here that I can see is causing the problem. This is actually very frustrating. And it's preventing me from explaining to you guys exactly what a blockchain is, so I'm going to quickly move forward with further descriptions, because, I mean, what you're seeing here, this is the heart of, not here, but here and here, this is the heart of a blockchain. It's all about validating the contents of the block, because every block is validated with the hash, or is hashed with the previous block's hash in there. In other words, each block is dependent on the previous block, and that's why the chain is just so effective. It's bizarre, honestly, just how beautifully simple it can be. Yeah, we're suddenly getting a whole bunch of errors. I'm gonna save you again. We're gonna test to get to fewer errors again, because that just makes my life a little less stressful. It's expecting it's expecting true. And what we're doing here is actually creating all the different, like, direct ways that a block can be tampered with. And if a block is tampered with, it actually affects the entire chain. So the question is generate next block actually making a mistake somewhere? Index, timestamp, previous hash. I think we are. Didn't I already switch these? Index, timestamp, hash, data. Yeah. Previous block dot hash. That might be what's causing the problem. Or it's going to make everything blow up again. Still returning false. I wish I could see why. And we're still having problems with lines 34, 35, and 37. Even though... Wait, how did those lines get moved? Okay, you know what? Okay, so somewhere along here, something is wrong. And that is really bothering me, which means I'm probably going to have to take the stream offline and spend time working on this. But, yeah, I mean, the next few days I'm just gonna be doing these streams, and then in the evenings I'll be recording a video. I'm starting to get over my health. I'm sorry that most of this stream was me staring cross-eyed at code. I do hope it was enjoyable for you, and we're gonna keep going on with this. Unfortunately, I need to make time for my roommates to do stuff, and I need to... well, I need to dig through this pain in the ass to figure out what I did wrong, because it's so small, it's a fiddly little detail that I'm not going to find until I look back at it. New block.hash equals xxxxx should invalidate the hash, and then we set the hash back correct. Wonder if we're getting a type error. No, because we would... it would bitch about that here. Blockchain, line 40. Yeah. It's only failing at the ends. This is the only line that's failing. What are you bitching about here? Unnecessary else after return. Well, if we can't get it to return true... Previous block, new block, new block, new block, calculate hash. So I'm going to, you know, keep going through. Tomorrow we'll probably end up making a very basic cryptocurrency. Like, so basic it is absolutely not the code you would want to use for a cryptocurrency. It would be horrifically insecure. And then the next day I want to probably make like a journal, like a diary, that stores every diary entry in the blockchain, much in the same way Git stores change to its own blockchain. And we're going to discuss more about what makes blockchain unique and powerful as we break further into functions like the consensus algorithm and the chain replacements and chain validation, that kind of stuff. Basically walking the list and seeing absolutely every block is perfect every time. But for now, I need to go. Thank you all for joining me. I will catch you next time.